Oh, hello. Oh, wait, I think you might be
I'm
muted.
on mute. That's sorry. How are you?
No worries. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for coming on today and doing this with us.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. I'm just going to do a little bit of an introduction and then we can get into the questions.
All right.
So, hello and welcome to 90.3 WMSC. My name is Madison Everett and I am the music director at the FM radio station at Montclair. Today, I am joined with Dayglow to talk a little bit more about himself, his music, and the new music he's put out in 2021, including his singles Close to You and Something. So, firstly, how are you and how have you been holding up with everything that's going on?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I've been fairly busy just with like various things, but I'm doing good. It's a sunny day in Austin, so can't complain.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had read that you were in Austin, and I have family members that actually live down in Texas, so that's pretty cool. They're over in
Cool.
San Antonio.
Nice. Yeah, not too far.
Yeah, how'd you hold up with all this snow that was going on?
It was crazy, actually. I am currently moving to another house, and it's kind of more on like a couple acres of land, and it has like its own well and stuff, and it just like exploded. So I've been figuring out how to like fix that.
Yeah.
All worries, but thankfully at this house it didn't like run out of water or anything. So
No,
um,
that's good. And you're a Texas native?
yes, yeah. I'm from like Dallas area.
Okay, sweet. So you started off the year strong, releasing two singles, Close to You and Something. How were those two songs to make, and how has the response to them been, especially compared to the environment pre-pandemic and your last album?
Yeah, really exciting. It's been really like encouraging to finally put some new music out because I'm totally insular in the way that I make my music. I write and produce and mix it, and so Fuzzy Brain, like anybody, and it's not like I'm like way light years ahead of who I was previously because I'm still young. I'm 21, but like on Can I Call You Tonight, I'm like 17 years old, like in the recording. So anybody when they like look back and watch videos of themselves like in high school, it's kind of like, kind of
Yeah.
awkward. And so like my whole career is like built off of that, which is so encouraging and like awesome. But it's just awesome and exciting to put new music out and kind of more of a stamp of who I am now. But it's a weird time to put music out, but it's just the times that we're in. So got to kind of make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely get that. And in your Spotify bio, something that I'd read was Dayglow embraces an elevated sonic maturity without sacrificing any of the enthusiasm and energy that made his first album. So for me, I couldn't help but agree with that description, especially having listened to your previous music. And when it comes to these new singles compared to your last album, Fuzzy Brain, now entering this new phase making music, what did you learn making your last album that you want to improve on and explore more in the future, whether that's musically or personally?
Yeah, I think naturally my influences have changed first. So I'm listening to different music. It's mostly like 70s and 80s pop. And you kind of are like what you listen to. Everybody's kind of like copying somebody else. And so with this, I'm kind of like copying different bands
Mm-hmm.
as like truthfully as possible. But yeah, just like listening to a lot of 70s, 80s music. So my songwriting approach has changed on a really basic level. Fuzzy Brain was mostly written on guitar, and Harmony House is mostly like keys driven. Not like fully, but mostly I wrote the songs on piano. And structurally, I wrote them completely on piano, then recorded a lot of the songs, which Fuzzy
Mm-hmm.
Brain was a lot different. It's kind of like the song and purpose came after. Where on this album, a lot of the songs were like, okay, this is the point I'm making the song in the first place, and just like holistically with one direction going. So I think it made the song sound a lot more mature, but we'll see.
Yeah, that makes me really excited. I feel like, we've done a lot of these interviews with artists, and I feel like the pandemic, especially for musicians, helped a lot in that sense of being able to kind of get back in touch with what is the reason I'm putting music out, or what am I
Yeah.
really trying to communicate with people. So that's exciting to know that you're working on that for your next album. Um, so what is your favorite aspect of just being an artist in general? That's a big question, but especially working with music, it's a medium that has emotionally connected people for years, and
Yeah.
to me is one of the most powerful. So for you, being where you are and making this music, what is your favorite aspect of that?
Yeah, it is an interesting phenomenon. First and foremost, just like realizing I am an artist and like people are listening to me now. Not only my music, but like what I'm saying, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, how did this happen? Because personally, I'm like, I mean, if you do look at history, like art is what pushes culture. I'm like, that's always been the thing because it's the emotionally driven thing, and like people want emotionally things to attach to. But it's just really interesting that like I'm so like emotional, and people are like, okay, now you tell me what to do, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's
Hmm.
crazy that I just like um, out of nowhere just like have this responsibility as an artist, which is really really exciting and awesome. But at the same time, it's just crazy because I'm still just like a normal person, and not only that, but I'm like growing up. I'm still figuring out like who I am, and yeah, it's just weird, but also exciting. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. And I totally get what you mean. I'm 21 as well. And I
Yeah,
feel like we're all kind of, especially in the pandemic, we're all kind of in this same position of growing up and trying to figure things out and not having
yeah,
the world that we kind of expected when we turned 21,
sure.
pre-pandemic. So I think it's really rewarding talking to you and hearing about this because, despite everything going on, you're at least using it in some kind of constructive way. And I can totally tell within your music and the maturity of it and how it's changed. So speaking of the pandemic, especially, what was one thing that you took away from last year as a whole that not only impacted you personally, but your music coming into 2021?
Hmm. Let's see. Um, I mean, a lot of personal stuff has happened in my life. Not necessarily driving Harmony House because I had written a lot of it already. But I recently got engaged, so I'm like getting married fairly soon,
That's
which is
awesome. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And so like I just have everything changing in my life at once, and it's like at the same time that's crazy, but then I'm like, I just like have so much going on. But I think mostly just Harmony House is just focused on um, sudden like shift of attention I was talking about, like being an artist suddenly and like having this voice. And it's not like I'm like Billie Eilish famous or something where like I have to walk around into disguise. And usually when people recognize me in public, it's like extremely nice. It's
Hmm.
like and so I've never understood. I mean, maybe eventually um, I'll have haters or something, but I haven't really like experienced that. And so, but anyways, I do have this new sense of like attention, and so most of Harmony House is kind of like dealing with and internalizing how to uh, work with that, like how to deal with being this like person who has internet attention. It's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a few questions from my team, and my one coworker Yaz asked, "What was the inspiration for Fuzzy Brain?" Because at the time, it was you were still a little bit of a smaller artist, and she said, "I heard he pretty much did the pre-production and production of the album in his room, which is insane but so cool."
Yeah, yeah. So Fuzzy Brain, completely in and of itself, I did on my own, including the mastering. I just like for those musicians out there, I used Cloud Bounce. I just like literally clicked and dragged on this internet thing, paid my $5, and then got the songs mastered, which is crazy. But yeah, all of Fuzzy Brain was just me like um, on my own in my room, just kind of having fun and figuring out how to make music. And um, it's really interesting because I look back at it now and realize that it was like a pretty expressive and unique thing, but I just didn't really see it totally as that, because I didn't think like in a million years that it would grow to be this
Mm-hmm.
just one album. It's been really crazy. um, but yeah, it was just mostly like challenging myself as a writer and producer to like make songs that sounded like they could be on a playlist with these other ones. Like the first song on the album, False Direction, I was just listening to like tons of Phoenix, and just as like a producer geek, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna make a song that truly sounds like I'm in the studio with Cassius and just like making a Phoenix song. And so I put it out, and then next thing you know, it's just like on this album. And so um, I don't know. I think Fuzzy Burn was mostly just like me being a kid. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah, it's so impressive too. Like, I mean, I'm not anybody who's musically inclined at all, but from what I see, I mean, it's not an easy task. And I think it's so special and so intimate when you're able to do it by yourself until you're able to do it with a team. And so to now go back to that album and re-listen to it from what you've said is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
So 2 more questions. She also asked what your take on TikTok was. Now that's like a very like controversial thing and people talk about it all the time, but seriously, I mean, someone who works within music, it's become kind of this tool that we're able to use. And especially as artists, I know for a while, Can I Call You Tonight went viral on it. As an artist yourself, what's your take on it and using it as a platform?
Great question. Yeah, it is a serious thing that ebbs and flows, where it is crazy. Like I've met and talked to a couple of people who like work for TikTok, and they're all really nice. So I'm not saying like as a whole like the company is like, oh, like so weird or something. But it's just really I don't know if I like the algorithm thing where it's like it's just constantly being fed like stuff. I just don't know if it's good for our brains. Just as a whole, the whole thing. But as a company, it's like they know what they're doing, so it's kind of like back and forth. Where if I'm thinking at it as like a human who like enjoys hiking, or if I'm just like looking at it from a business perspective, where it's like I don't know. But musically, it's crazy how it can like boost your music and like blow up. Like I'm good friends with Jack Rutter, who makes music as Rit Momney, and
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and his song, he was actually gonna be on tour with me all year, and like right after everything got shut down, he just like put his Put Your Records On cover on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And, like blew up, and he's like just mind blown, and it's crazy that something like that can happen. But at the same time, he's like, what do I do? Because there are so many pros and cons of viral success.
Yeah.
Because like it sets up a really high number, but it's not necessarily a platform that you can stand on. Where it's nice if you like the chart looks like this, because like you can kind of walk on it, and then the next thing you make, you start from there. But if you have one song, it's just like, and then you're like still here, and it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I 100% get what you mean. And it's interesting to hear from the actual artist who makes the songs that you hear. Cause I found Put Your Records On in his cover through TikTok and my algorithm. And as artists, yeah, like you wonder, because then you hear one song and it becomes this like one hit wonder in a way. And then you actually think about, okay, but what's the rest of the career for this awesome artist look like? And it's like that 50-50. So it's interesting to hear from you, definitely. Yeah. So lastly, if you are able to share anything, what can we expect from you in 2021?
We are looking like, as far as I'm concerned, and I've heard from the music world, it's looking like shows are going to start happening like at the end of this year, at least in the US. I'm kind of skeptical because I'm like, well, what just happened? What happened all year?
I know,
But
yeah.
it's looking like festivals are going and shows, so that could be really exciting. We'll have to see, but yeah, I think shows. I'm releasing an album in May, um, but yeah, I don't know. Exciting stuff. It's going to be a good year, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I have this gut feeling that it's going to be a good year. And at the beginning of it, I wasn't sure why. I still don't really know why, but I just feel like by the end of it this year, we're really going to have accomplished something. I feel like everybody's going to, and from having artist friends and stuff, everybody's releasing projects. And I feel like there's an authenticity coming into 2021 throughout all my friends and all kinds of artists that I listen to that I'm excited to see where it goes. So to know that you're releasing an album in May, I'm so excited. And I hope that we do get some kind of shows by the end of the year, and hopefully I can catch one of yours.
Yeah, be awesome. We are
Yeah.
optimistic.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I really have a good feeling. And yeah, well, good luck with everything this year. I'm excited to see what comes out and what more you do. And I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. See ya.
All right. See ya.